the painted ponies on a merry-go-round, zebras seem too flashy to belong on the African plains. They have dazzled the eye since history began. They delighted the circus-goers of ancient Rome, where they were known by their stripes as horse tigers. The high plateau of East Africa is a rich tapestry of woodlands, rivers, and savannas. While much of the world was encased in ice, its climate stayed warm and tropical, and it retained the great numbers of large animals that other regions lost. From the edge of the forests, the plains of grass stretch as far as the eye can see. And grass eaters, millions of them, move across the land. The wanderings of so many different animals appear to be random, but the animals harvest this pasture in an intricate scheme of cooperation and mutual benefit. The great numbers that feed on the grasses and leaves support others, hunters and scavengers, which require the high protein of meat. Each hunter has its own style. The cheetah is a loner and a specialist. It preys almost exclusively on Thompson's gazelles. The gazelles are not defenseless, however, and if given a moment's notice, they're fleet enough to escape. Look long enough at these plains and patterns emerge, an order that is both fitting and uncompromising. There are so many different kinds of predators here because there are so many different kinds of prey. And among the various carnivores, there is an established ranking, a social order they all seem to recognize. Vultures and jackals wait patiently behind a powerful clan of hyenas, which is also waiting patiently for two lions to decide they've had enough. The lions take their time, unconcerned by the gathering of other hungry mouths. They outrank all other predators here, and it's quite possible that they confiscated this carcass from the hyenas who brought it down. Lions are the largest predators in Africa, and they take the largest game. On the Serengeti plains of Tanzania, zebras may be their most important prey in terms of pounds of meat consumed. The zebras stand alert. A lion must get within 100 yards to launch a successful attack, and the horse tigers of the plains can mount a formidable defense. Out on the Serengeti, the dry season has begun. The short grasses have stopped growing, and the zebras must migrate to find greener pastures. Each family group sets off in single file, heading for a destination more than 100 miles away. Zebras are fertile all year round. This mare's pregnancy is far advanced, and she may give birth during the migration. The little troop strings out along the trail and is soon followed by another. All over East Africa, kinship groups are coming together, heading for the food and water of the distant woodlands. More than 200,000 zebras will make the journey, leading the way for a vast army of other grazers that are also on the move. The wildebeests are massing. At more than 1 million strong, they're the greatest herd of large animals on Earth. The zebras trek on, heads down, intent on their course. The route they choose varies from year to year and follows signals too subtle for us to perceive. But no matter what path they take, one particular obstacle lies implacably in their way. And each year, the zebras steadfastly lead the other herds to the greatest trial of their journey. Poised on the treacherous banks of the Mara River, the wildebeests have no choice but to plunge down into the rushing waters below. Many are lost each year, trampled in the frantic rush of hooves, drowned, or taken by crocodiles. But most of the herd succeeds in scrambling up the steep banks of the far side to carry the epic migration onward. The tiny Thompson's gazelles bring up the rear of the great procession and gingerly make their own way across the Mara. The herds reassemble on the far side to rest and feed on fresh pasture. And here in the long grass, the reason why zebras lead the others is revealed. The migration itself follows a particular grazing sequence. The zebras are the first to enter the new pasture because they eat the coarsest grass. It's low in protein, but zebras eat a lot of it and digest it quickly. Their sharp incisors trim down the top layer of grass to where the wildebeest can graze, and they, in turn, prepare the grass for the gazelles that follow. Each animal depends on the one that goes before it. The grass itself responds to the grazing and trampling with a burst of new growth. The vast numbers of animals actually contribute to the production of their pasture. Elephants, of course, are the largest grass eaters, but their best habitat is the forest edge, where they can browse on a variety of other vegetation. Their rough tusking and trunking of the woody plants thins out the trees and lets in the grass, expanding grazing for other animals. Because elephants have so much impact on the land, they too must keep on the move, rotating around immense territories to let the vegetation recover. Their increasing confinement in parks and reserves has been devastating to the forests and to the animals that need those forests to survive. Here on the Great Plains of Africa, it's possible to see that animals move to the rhythms of the land, and that the land itself is no mere backdrop to their lives, but a partner in the dance. The zebras have arrived at their destination, Kenya and the woodlands northwest of the Serengeti. Here they mingle with a different society, giraffes, impalas, and other creatures of the forest edge. Where there are trees, there will be water nearby, and with water and good grazing, the zebras can relax. They separate into their kinship groups and spend some time socializing. Two young males play at being herd stallions, fighting and wrestling in a mock battle. Their games are lively but harmless, and they highlight one of the unique aspects of zebra society. Males form long-lasting alliances, and fathers are especially close to their sons. The stallion is the head of his family group of 5 to 6 females, plus their offspring of several years. Although this harem is called a kinship group, the mares are not related. And yet, it's not the stallion that keeps them together. The mares and foals develop close personal bonds among themselves. Should their stallion die, the mares will stay together, and a new stallion will head up the family. There is a strict hierarchy among the mares, which they establish on their own, although it's not clear how. They do not fight with each other. In a society of close personal relationships, individuals must recognize each other on sight. Luckily, no two zebras have exactly the same pattern of stripes. An important first lesson for every foal is to learn its mother's unique pattern and follow it closely. Should the foal become lost or separated, no other mare will adopt it. Crisp black and white stripes may serve as a form of social cohesion. Color variations are extremely rare. Stallions are remarkably cordial and seek each other out to perform the greeting ceremony. Open-mouth jawing is followed by nudging and rubbing necks and flanks. As in many other animal societies, personal bonds are expressed by grooming. Mothers and foals groom each other, and the stallion grooms his favorite mares. His attentions, however, seem to have no influence on the mare's own social rank. For those without a grooming partner, there are small personal valets, the oxpeckers. Oxpeckers perform the invaluable service of removing tormenting parasites from the coats of many grazing animals. They're right at home on the back of the ox-like eland, an enormous 2,000-pound antelope. The birds themselves get a free ride and a free meal, an arrangement that seems to suit everybody. Personal hygiene is completed with a good roll in the dust. This also helps remove skin parasites and, by all appearances, just feels good. The single file marches off to its feeding grounds for the day, the dominant mare in the lead. The others proceed according to rank, each one knowing just which stripes to follow. The stallion greets each member of the family and waits to bring up the rear. Sometime during the day, they must walk to water. Zebras need more water than other plains animals. Another reason they are the first to migrate in the dry season. While the water is badly needed, they sometimes risk their lives for a drink. The lions are lean and need to eat. When close enough, they launch an attack that is both beautiful and terrifying. The herd has lost a foe, but one foe won't be enough to sustain a ravenous pride for long. The lions will need to hunt again, but now that the herds have migrated into their territory, there will be enough meat to ensure the survival of the cubs. The lions prepare another ambush and approach with caution. They're not yet within range. If the zebras get wind of them now, the herd will run. And at their top speed of 40 miles an hour, zebras are faster than the big cats. This young female can wait no longer. Perhaps she's inexperienced or just too hungry to appreciate the value of patience. The zebras take flight, running together in a tight formation. And now, the conspicuous stripes become a disguise. Among the flickering black and white lines, the outline of an individual animal is lost. Unless a lion can separate one from the rest, it will only chase a confusing optical effect. Perhaps it will misjudge its leap and be facing the skull-crushing kick of a horse tiger's hooves. A disappointment for the huntress. There are times when not even the king of beasts reigns supreme. The zebras remain watchful, but they know their adversary well. Lions aren't always hunting, and zebras don't live in constant fear. The impressive-looking males very rarely hunt, a fact which the zebras take into account. In the northernmost part of their range, plains zebras share the grass with a distant cousin, the Grevy zebra. The Grevies are bigger and heavier, and their stripes are close and narrow compared to those of the plains zebra. Their heads are more massive and their ears enormous. The two different zebras don't seem to recognize their kinship and take no interest in each other. And in fact, Grevies are more closely related to wild asses than they are to the plains zebra. Grevies live in an area that is dry and harsh, with very low rainfall. For much of the year, water and good grazing are in short supply, and the Grevies have developed a completely different way of life in order to manage their limited resources. There are no strong bonds among the mares, and stallions do not keep a harem. Instead, they stand guard over a territory. As the owner of a territory covering 1 to 4 square miles, a stallion must wait for the females to come to him. Small herds roam at will around the entire range, moving in and out of different territories. The Grevy stallion patrols his area to make sure that others know that he is the landlord. He also patrols the herd, notifying the others of his dominant rank. Along with the mares and foals, there can be many other stallions in the group. These non-territorial stallions are tolerated as long as they remain subordinate. His aim is not to keep other zebras out, but to get them to stay as long as the grazing is good. During their stay, he alone will mate with any females that come into season. He demands respect, but his tolerance of other stallions is a compromise. He must rule his territory and share it. When the herd moves on to greener pastures, the Grevy stallion must remain behind, ready to defend his territory against any stallion who may have an eye for it himself. All zebras, no matter what their stripes, enjoy a good dust bath. Although Grevies are more tolerant of drought than plain zebras, they still need to drink. A fresh-running stream is a valuable asset for any stallion to have in his territory. Grevies are well adapted to this dry country, both physically and socially. But this is not enough to ensure their future. Only 30 years ago, these zebras could be found throughout vast parts of Kenya, Ethiopia, and Somalia. Today, only 10,000 are left in this small part of northern Kenya. Hunting and poaching for both their meat and their beautiful striped skins have endangered their very survival. Unaware of their uncertain future, two colts prepare for adult life by playing games. They play without violence, their movements light and delicate. The game serves mainly to refine the rituals of combat. As young adults, they will have to fight in earnest to gain their own territory. And as mature stallions, they will need to defend it. Their antics stimulate neighboring giraffes to do the same. At last, the long, hot, dry season is about to end. All across the savanna, there's a change in the wind. As the thunderheads of October build in the sky, the zebras begin their return journey to the plains in the south, anticipating the great event that marks the turning of the year. Nothing is more hoped for in East Africa than the onset of the rains. Everything depends on this great pulse of water. Its timing and distribution is critical to all living things. It controls the grasses and the trees and determines where the great herds must go for food. Will transform the landscape. Within days, the dormant grasses will sprout and spring back to life. The grasslands of the Serengeti are once more filled with animals, each one enjoying the long-awaited water. The lions have gathered at the edge of a pool where the zebras wait anxiously for a turn to drink. But the lions show no indications of leaving. The entire pride lounges in the cooling mud, leaving the zebras no choice but to wait. By the edge of another pool, a zebra has died, and vultures throng the carcass. Perhaps it's the vulture that's truly the top predator here. Other hunters must choose their prey with care. A lion can find a zebra more difficult to kill than a gazelle. But vultures prey on the dead, and all species are equal to them. A marabou stork attends the gathering, waiting for a chance at the remains. The mob looks chaotic, poking and pecking as much at each other as at the carcass. But even here, an order prevails. There are 6 different species of vultures on the plains. Each arrives at the carcass at a different time, but their sequence is consistent. Like the grazers on the grass, they consume different parts of their prey, and despite all the bickering, they are not competitors. Both a scavenger and a hunter, the spotted hyena is second only to the lion as the ruling predator of the plains. But it has not shed its ancient reputation as a thief and a coward. Perhaps it's because of its odd appearance, shambling gait, and disquieting laugh. But its strange shape contributes to its success as a hunter. Short hindquarters, powerful chest, and massive jaws give it surprising speed and carrying ability. Hyenas may squabble over a meal, but they hunt together. They have taken down a young zebra, and the adults' desperate attempts to rescue it are too late. With the flush of new grass, the zebras feel frisky. Young males horse around, racing and playing. bachelor groups are formed by colts looking for lively society. They have not been forced out of their families, but are simply preparing to start families of their own. But two mature stallions are fighting in earnest. This is no game, but a serious show of strength. Kicking, biting, and striking with the forefeet carry the risk of serious injury. But this grueling contest is a prelude to siring a new generation. A filly has come into estrus. In order to claim her, this stallion had to challenge her father and abduct her from her family. Once he is mated with her, she will stay with him and become a member of his family group. The wildebeest now take their turn to joust and court. Most foals are born in the wet season when the grass is the most nutritious. Each foal will grow up in a family, cared for by its mother, protected by its father, and with other foals to play with. It will live in a society of strong personal bonds and be known as an individual, a unique set of stripes. It will face lions and hyenas, and when it grows up, it will lead the great herds on their epic migrations. With the return of the rains, the year is complete. But before long, the zebras will cross the plains once more, heading for distant water and grasses. To us, a migration has always been a mysterious event, a vision of multitudes moving in unison to music that we cannot hear. But if we stop and watch, we begin to see, in the timing of the rains, the growth of the grass, and the movement of life, that there is a pattern we can understand. The contest between predator and prey may seem arbitrary, but even here we can feel a rhythm. The zebra's patterns of black and white seem to echo the patterns of life and death on the Serengeti. We may never know everything a zebra knows about life on the plains of East Africa, but we are learning.